go to the cottage, like you said." His mouth was slightly open, like he was struggling to understand.
"When?"
"A week on Saturday." He turned his back and put down his phone. I couldn't see his face to work out if he was annoyed or not. When he turned back, his expression was neutral.
"How long will you be gone for?"
"A few weeks." He paused, thinking something he wasn't going to say.
"Right."
"It was your idea."
"I didn't think you'd organise it without telling me."
He didn't think I'd organise it at all. And now I was going away without him, he wasn't so sure. He went upstairs to change out of his work clothes. When he came back down, I said, I could try and cancel them.
"No, don't cancel them. It's fine."
He smiled.
"I'll call my mum and ask her to post the keys."
1. Catherine. Saturday. Sunrise 4:40. Sunset 22:18. The keys were in my hand luggage now, along with our plane tickets and a sketched map from Joe that was reminiscent of a child's drawing. A cluster of triangle-topped squares was a village. The sea was marked by a series of wavy lines. The cottage was an X surrounded by Christmas trees. I compared it to the map I'd printed from Google, but there was no correlation between the two. I'd asked Joe to keep his phone on tonight in case we couldn't find it. He'd said I wouldn't have a signal. I knew that. It had just slipped my mind for a moment in the rush as we hugged goodbye. I checked our departure time on the board and scanned the incoming crowds for my sister. According to her last text message, Anna was on her way. But from where, she didn't disclose. We'd agreed to meet at check-in at 3:45 p.m. It was 4 p.m, and she still wasn't here. She'd phoned this morning, her voice lively but rough, like someone who hadn't transitioned from drunk to hungover. She said she'd been out last night. There was a string of garbled sentences about an ex and missing the last train and sleeping on his couch. She was heading back to Mum and Dad's to pack and wanted to know if she needed her passport because she wasn't totally sure where it was. We were going to Scotland. We didn't need passports. I said, "Just bring your driving licence for ID." "Right, yeah, I've got that here, I think." "OK, holiday time. See you in a bit." I kept my eyes on the double doors leading from the taxi drop-off. There was no sign of her amongst the streams of families following overloaded luggage trolleys, the hen parties with walk-on bags and coordinated T-shirts. They looked drunk and anxious. The nicknames printed across their backs were sexual and crude. I didn't have a hen party, primarily because of T-shirts like those. Joe tried to talk me into it, naming a few of the girls at work. Colleagues, not friends. A housemate from Cambridge. We'd not spoken in over a year. My sister. I said, absolutely not. She's a liability. I'd spend the entire time looking after her. He didn't argue because he knew I was right. But 7 years later, he'd finally succeeded in getting us to spend some time together. If she didn't miss the plane. 10 past. Typical Anna. I called her, but there was no answer. 2 more minutes and I would check in without her. I started to imagine the holiday with only me on it. 10 full days of solitude. It would suit me fine. Then I felt a tap on my shoulder. Anna turned and made myself smile. "Made it!" She was out of breath. Sweat dampened the edges of her face. She still wore the remains of last night's eyeliner. "It's 1:15. I said 1:45. Sorry. Wow, I can't believe it's been 3 years. She hugged me, taking me by surprise, and I had to let go of my suitcase to steady myself. She said, "You've not changed a bit." I didn't contradict her. "Your accent is different." "It can't be.